Unium is the subscription management hub for B2B SaaS companies. Whether you're looking to expand to new markets, experimenting with pricing models, or simply want a streamlined quote-to-cash process, Unium got your back. On top of that, Unium Insights provides the SaaS metrics you need for reporting to the board and for future company evaluation. It gives you the key figures needed to drive your business forward and take strategic decisions. Unium. We help SaaS companies manage their B2B customer subscriptions.
Welcome to Startuprad.io, your podcast and YouTube blog covering the German startup scene with news, interviews, and live events.
Hello and welcome everybody. This is Joe from Startuprad.io, your startup podcast and YouTube blog from Germany, as well as the founder of the world's first tech entrepreneurship radio, Startup.radio. Today I have a returning guest here. Hey, Suhash, how you doing?
Great. Thank you very much, Joe, for having me in the interview. I'm looking forward to discuss the ideas which we have been bringing in the market in this interview. Thank you.
Yes, I do believe most of our audience, since we're growing so crazy, is not aware that we did an interview because we published it back in October 2019. But you've been still with the same company, which was incorporated in 2019, and it's called Tvarit. We'll soon get to the meaning. You can explain it. And we do an update because you had a successful fundraising. This content is therefore sponsored by Invest in Hessen. You can learn more about Invest in Hessen, our sponsor, and your opportunities to invest in the German state of Hessen in the link down here in the show notes. So, as I said, October 2019, and there we already learned you are a serial entrepreneur. We confirmed before the recording, but you have started 17 startups and Tvarit. So this is number 18. What have you learned so far, and what can you tell us about you?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, Tvarit is the 18th startup for me. So, having this journey with multiple startups gives me a tremendous experiences of failures. I learned how not to fail, and that's what I implemented in Tvarit. This is in my 18th startup, and I see that the results are coming over. So in Tvarit, as you mentioned, we completed more than 1,000 days. We have multiple customers, more than 20 customers, which we are serving in the manufacturing industry, who has like more than 200 plants. And this growth is achieved from my last learning, what we achieved from what I received from my past experiences in different startups.
Can you tell us, first, I would like to make a little disclaimer. So you have 20 clients, which is already really big. We're talking not about a B2C relation here, where you start to get excited with 100,000 customers. As you said, 20 clients, 200 plants, like really big manufacturing plants. That is something completely different. We'll soon get to why this is so awesome for you. And what kind of startups did you do before? And what did you do before you started all the startups?
Yeah. So before I started my journey in the startup, I was working in companies like Qualcomm, Intel, providing them consultancy for their low power devices in their R&D department. In my startup journey, I had startup into digitalization. I had startup into manufacturing, in the also selling compressors and pneumatic parts. Most importantly, what gave me the big experience is my startups in the manufacturing field. I started one factory into the metal processing, a second factory into packaging machine manufacturing, and a third factory into densification of the biofuel. And when I worked into this manufacturing field, I understood the basic problem what they are having on a day-to-day life, and those problems are impacting their profitability. And this is where I got idea to combine my experiences into manufacturing industry with my co-founder who was having experience into NASA, into AI and analytics. Bringing those analytics to the manufacturing field was the trigger point to start Tvarit for me. And as you asked, I go back to the previous question you mentioned about Tvarit. What does it mean? Tvarit is a Sanskrit word which is 3,000 years old. It means fast.
People I do believe already smiling because you used such a lot of specific words, so we can already tell from your training you're an engineer. In our 2019 interview, you said Tvarit has the potential to become a unicorn, and you said you're looking to be the first unicorn in Frankfurt. Now, unfortunately, Clark.de became the first unicorn in Frankfurt. Are you sad they did achieve your goal?
Of course. So, as I said, we want to be the first unicorn in the industrial AI space. Frankfurt is known for the fintech. There are many fintech companies and other fields are also there. And then there are many unicorns are coming. We are still on our path to be the first Frankfurt-based industrial AI unicorn.
So far, I would say you've been doing pretty good. Since our last interview, you won prizes, including the Startup Award at the Digital Future Congress. You've been one of the top 5 companies in Germany receiving the Factory of the Year award. So it's always not necessarily all the fancy startup awards, but the awards that counts towards your clients where they see you. And let us talk now a little bit about what Tvarit actually does, because we know from the people who are listening to this, Suhash is in front of a TV. It reads Tvarit Smart Zero. Trying? Is it trying?
No,
Driving the world towards sustainable and
driving the
zero
world
waste
towards
manufacturing.
sustainable and zero waste manufacturing. That's
Exactly.
our vision statement.
That is an awesome mission statement. And can you explain what Tvarit actually does in manufacturing? Because, Industry 5.0, yeah, there's a lot of data and you do some AI and that should be awesome. But most people don't have an idea what you actually offer, what they can do with it. Can you tell us a little bit what you're doing? Because I have been researching it for the last time and this time. And I would say either you could describe your company as an AI control tool for quality control or as the Celonis of manufacturing processes. Which one would be more true?
I would say that it is more related to quality and a process improvement. But let me go back to the history of Tvarit.
Mm-hmm.
If you see, 2019 when we were discussing, we were discussing about the AI platform, which had 160 plus algorithmic module to give the prediction based on the manufacturing processes. And we wanted to go into the market. We talked with the clients, manufacturing client, and we understood that there are no data scientists in the manufacturing plant who can use our platform. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where the journey started. So the whole AI platform was a backbone for us to start a journey to get niche. So we started that journey from a data science platform, and now we are focusing on casting industry. So using that platform as a backbone, we are serving the casting customers worldwide.
You're an engineer. Can you explain, like in layman terms, what casting really means for everybody who has no clue, like me?
Happy to do that. So casting is a process where a molten metal is poured into the mold and a part is manufactured. So, for example, a gearbox, when it is manufactured, then aluminum is molten aluminum is poured into the mold, and a gearbox is manufactured. You have this alu felga, the aluminum wheels. They are manufactured using low pressure die casting. That's a casting process. So there are many automotive components like brakes, chassis part, wheels. They are casted. Not only in
Mm-hmm.
the automotive industry, in the also in the machineries also many parts are casted. So this is our niche area. Wherever
Mm-hmm.
the molten metal is poured into the mold and taking a different shape, We focus in this area to reduce three things: energy, scrap, and machine downtime. So we focus on, and these are the three things which is most important for the profitability of the company. Any operation or operators who are working in the plant, they can reduce. They focus is on improvement of the processes, and they can improve up to 90%. But remaining 10%, which a human cannot do, that's where our focus is. If you imagine a manufacturing company has a profitability of around 5-6%. Now, if you improve the processes and improve by improvement, if you increase the profitability by 5 to 10%, that is like double the profitability what they are having right now, and we have achieved that. We have worked in the casting process where we reduce the scrap by 33%. We reduce the energy consumption by 18% in low pressure die casting. And we are serving the clients. We are serving clients in worldwide. We have clients in Americas. We have clients in Africa. We have clients in Asia. We have clients in Europe, across Europe, in Czech Republic, Poland, or Italy, Germany. So within these 3 years, by focusing on the particular process of casting, we are recognized worldwide as the only solution provider for the casting industry.
And for everybody who's still not understood, so if you make chocolate hot, you have a form like a Santa Claus, you pour it in, you're chocolate casting, and people out there do it with way hotter and more interesting materials. I would say like iron, steel, aluminum. Is there something else out there that your clients are using?
Yes. Yeah, aluminum, as you mentioned, zinc is also there, magnesium is also there. Any metal which is molten and taking another shape is the casting process which we are focused.
Mostly metals, or can you also cast something else you're working with?
No, we are focused on metal casting, and it's a huge market. There are 60,000 foundries worldwide who are doing casting process.
So everything that you have, like in a car, in a machine, everything that's solid metal and has a form that's not natural, there's a probability that it's either welded or casted, right?
Yeah, a complex shape is always casted, like wheel, the gearboxes, brakes, they are casted. Yeah.
What comes to mind, I have a little son and he's a big fan of bagger excavators, and I just run through my mind only what you can see from the outside on so big machines that is casted, and I realized, yeah, there should be a few hundred parts there that are casted, and likely they all come from different manufacturing companies. So we nailed out what it is, bagger, and what you can do with it. So how do your clients actually use this the Tvarit tools in their 200 factories?
It's a software. So when we have before casting, there is a melting, there is a degassing, there is a holding furnace, casting, and then X-ray where the testing happens. These are the processes. In the whole process, we provide the software which provides them a prescription. So, for example, if a particular part which is being casted is not having optimal parameter, and then the software will automatically alert them that this part will be rejected in your testing. So before it gets tested, gives the prediction, but it's not only prediction; it provides a prescription. These are the parameter you need to change now in order to avoid the rejection in the testing phase.
That means you do the quality control in the actual manufacturing process and not later on in the actual quality process. And can you spill like a few secrets between you and me and a few thousand listeners and viewers of this interview, how you actually do it? Because you have on the one hand software and you have on the other hand a machine. I do believe there needs to be some connection and some analytics going on your side.
Yes. So basically, the software is used by the operator. There are different persona. So a machine operator is one persona who gets the recommendation and who gets the prescription to change the machine parameter. The second
Mhm.
persona is a plant manager. He understands for the whole process from a shift wise, on a day wise, how it can be reduced, and he gets the prediction and a prescription on a day wise. Similarly, there are maintenance people, there are operations people, how to increase the profitability. So the software is very niche for the casting process, but it
Mhm.
includes the persona from a machine operator to plant manager to maintenance manager to the CEO level. All kind of persona is included where they can. Our focus is to reduce waste, uh, and that wastage can be man, machine, material, and money. And they get the prescription how to save or decrease the waste
Mhm.
in software alerting side. Yeah, but as you mentioned, we don't give the input to the machine. There is always human in loop. That human gets the prescription and he takes the action.
Mhm. Mhm. So, I was wondering, zero waste is an important target, but right now we're recording this beginning of October 2022 with maybe a very cold winter and very expensive gas ahead of us, natural gas for heating and, for example, heating up metals for casting. Do you also help your clients to save energy here? And how do you actually do this, help reduce waste? So first a little bit the energy question, and then how do you actually reduce waste?
True. So we help our clients, especially in the foundries, which are casting companies,
Mhm.
to reduce energy as well. How do we do that? During that process, there are various parameters who are consuming energy. For example, the metal has to be molten. For example, if you melt the aluminum at 700 degree, and you are taking that aluminum from the furnace to the casting machine in the ladle, then during that time, the temperature decreases, right? So there is an energy loss in that. In the holding furnace, there are air jacks which
Mhm.
provides the pressure. Now, if there is air leakage, that also impacts on the temperature of the aluminum. Now, these small things are consuming, or wasting at least like 20 to 30% of the energy, which we see that as a potential to reduce energy consumption in the casting process. And we
Mhm.
have done that for one of the clients, 18% reduction in their casting process, energy reduction.
And for our US audience, he's talking very likely about 700 degrees Celsius, which is almost 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit. So damn hot. Exactly. And how do you help to reduce the waste there?
In this process, the whole process, it's not only understanding about the process parameter, but also the process itself. So our experts not only understand the casting process, but also the physics and chemistry behind that. So chemical composition of aluminum, the physics of a mold, the geometry of the mold. We take everything into consideration to provide the prescription, which is close to 100% accurate.
Hmm. Have you? So that would mean you can even spit out a recommendation. For example, really shape the mold. That is basically what you pour the hot metal in. Shape the mold just a tiny bit. That will give you 3 to 4 5% more efficiency.
Yep.
Okay,
Or
I
maybe more. So last time we had, like, as I mentioned, 18% energy bill we could reduce in the casting process using our software.
given the current prices for natural gas, I believe that's worth a lot of money for a big factory. And um, speaking about that, you have a lot of manufacturing clients. What is the possibility that excites them most? Where do they like most to use Tvarit? What is, I wish I've thought about that moment for your clients.
Our expertise into casting process.
Mhm.
So the moment we talk about optimization of any casting process or any casting company, they can first click that that these guys understand what they are doing. Our
Mhm.
niche is our strength. There is nobody in the world who is focusing on a casting process uh,
Mhm.
as a software. And for example, right, 1 hour before I had a call with one of the clients. I was talking with their CEO, and he could easily imagine I speak the same language what he speaks on a day-to-day life in his plant, and they have
Mm-hmm.
61 plants. He immediately said that, okay, next month in November we will have a 3 days plant visit, and we will sit together and how we can improve in our process. They have 30 to 50% rejections, and that's a big pain for them. The
Mm-hmm.
moment we start talking about processes and our niche, they realize that Tvarit is a company whom they want to work to optimize their processes.
And to make sure the rejections mean either in their own quality control or in the quality control of their clients. When they take in the parts, they say, no good.
It's their own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about
It's
their
their
own,
own. Mm-hmm.
and their client might have additional rejection as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So today we are also talking about, because you raised 2.8 million euros already this year. Congratulations on that.
Thank
And
you.
my question would be, you have in total now approximately 3 million US dollars in funding that is publicly available. Is that true?
That is correct.
Yeah. And I've seen you have more local investors so far. Are you open to talk to international investors? Somebody, for example, who could help you jump to a different continent, into a different industry, into a different geographic area?
Yes, yes. So we are definitely open to speak with international investors. In fact, we recently started our internationalization journey. We recently got the client in US, in South Africa, and in Americas as well, South America as well. So Mexico, Brazil. So for us, it is very important to have investors from that side of the world who can understand the local market and help us grow in that market. Yeah.
Would you also be interested to have a corporate venture capitalist from this area? Like in terms of industry, like casting industrial background?
We have few inquiries. Of course, we are open to discuss with CVC as well. Yeah. So, Joe, you asked about how do we utilize the fund. We raised approximately 2.8 million in the last funding round to acquire more customers. Our goal was to acquire each quarter plus two customers. So, compared to previous quarter, we acquired two more customers in the manufacturing field. Just to give you the note that a usual time to close one manufacturing client is around 12 to 18 months, which we have already decreased by 3 to 4 months. Our sales team is very much focused in this way. Within first 5 months of closing our last financing round, we already won 20 customers who are mostly automotive component manufacturers, and this will increase our per customer revenue going forward. Now, secondly, we have recently closed OEMs as our customers. OEMs like Volkswagen, BMW giants are buying casting parts from many suppliers, and we can provide quality insights of the purchased casting part using our prescriptive quality module. And we see a big opportunity for us to capture via these OEMs. Um, and going forward, we'll be raising Series A in next couple of months, and we are looking forward to talking to more investors in the future. Joe, you asked me what is the next funding round. So right now we are focused. We will be raising the Series A round in next couple of months, and due to the high number of customer acquisition, our focus will be like 50% of the next funding round will be used in technology and product development. 30% will be used in sales, and 20% will be in internal operations. Internal operations like finance, operations, and HR kind of activities. But most of the part will be going into technology to scale our solution, which we can provide to multiple clients within shortest period of time, like 2-3 months of time.
Mm-hmm. And of course, what you usually do with the money, you hire people. are you currently hiring for Tvarit?
Yes. So let me tell about the focus what we had in the last investment round. So when we raised the funding round in April, the focus is to get number of customers. And in from April till now, we have 20 customers who have 200 plants. So and we wanted to have 21 customer within 1 year post financing round. So within 6 months, we achieved our target of 20 customers. So that is a big achievement for us. And during this phase, we continuously hired more people to deliver, because when you have all of a sudden exploding number of customers who are in the manufacturing industry, and we need to talk with multiple stakeholders to develop the solution. We had a big growth in the team size as well. In last quarter itself, we hired 20 people in our team. Total right now we have around 62 people in our team. Joe, you asked about team and hiring more people. For us, it is important that the people whom we take into the team has a very good knowledge about the processes and the regarding casting processes, of course, and the affinity towards the manufacturing industry. And most of the team members are coming from top-notch universities like TU Darmstadt, PTW. They are PhD from that, and IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, and these are the people who are highly qualified, who are understanding the manufacturing processes and providing prescription to our clients. And going forward, we'll be hiring more and more people in this direction who will help us in patenting our technology. Right now, we have two patents: one in hybrid model, and the second one in the prescriptive analytics for transfer learning. So, hybrid model is like combining physics and chemistry of the casting process with AI. And transfer learning patent is about, once we develop the model for one casting machine, we can use the same model for n number of casting machine, not only in same factory but different factories as well. That brings the scalability of our solution worldwide plants who are in the casting side.
And for that, you also need additional funding. When you're looking to do the next fundraising, is there like an idea, like rule of thumb, something like this?
Of course, yeah. So the interesting part is like the business model which we achieve. So right now, we focused on acquiring more customers. Now the focus will be shifting from serving those customers into 200 plants. So
Mhm.
20 customers, 200 plants, it's a big number. If you consider one plant giving us a 200,000 revenue per year in a subscription, then there is a huge potential to achieve. So this
Mhm.
the next funding round to serve those customers and increase our revenue. So we'll be raising fund in next couple of months.
Mhm. What funding series will this be? That sounds like a Series A funding for you.
Exactly. Yes.
I see. And there will be a lot of jobs. We link down here in the show notes, of course, the careers website of Tvarit. We're now talking for almost 30 minutes already. And just to wrap it up a little bit, because this interview is sponsored by Invest in Hessen. You are one of the non-fintechs here in Frankfurt. And therefore, what would be your wishes? Because a lot of political decision makers are listening to our podcast. What would be your wishes for them? What they can do for startups, especially industrial B2B startups here in Frankfurt? What would you like to address to them? Yeah, I know, more funding, but besides that.
Of course, there are there are changing environment in the world, right? So the
Mhm.
geopolitical situation is changing. Ukraine war is there. The corona just got over. People are talking about recession. Uh, we should think about manufacturing industry as a community,
Mhm.
because they are consuming high energy. And now, if they cannot sustain due to the increasing price of gas, then there should be certain incentives needs to be given to the manufacturing industry, so that this industry survives and grows. in Germany, in DACH region, in European region. This is very important.
Mhm, mhm. Understood. So, Suash, it was a pleasure talking to you. We are already talking for more than 30 minutes right now. So I wish to say thank you very much. Best of luck, and hopefully we'll be back in something like 3 years and talk again, maybe about your Series B funding.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Joe, for your time. And it is again, a big pleasure to talking with you and discussing about Tvarit. I'm sure we'll have more opportunities in the future to talk about Tvarit as it grows.
Of course. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
That's all, folks. Find more news, streams, events, and interviews at www.startuprad.io. Remember, sharing is caring.